Hello all, Jules here. I have just finished recording a podcast. It's been a while since I recorded a podcast, and I just thought I would make a video and talk about it. And if you're someone who prefers audio, I'll provide a link below for you to listen to it. I talked about what it is when we feel like the only thing we've got to do as our course of action is to make a choice. I've been in the personal development journey, personal growth journey for a good 6 or 7 years now. I think all my life actually. Throughout university, I was always doing something to do with growth because I like getting better at life and in all aspects. One of the things that got really drilled into me about getting better at life was the fact that we all have a choice. At any moment in time, we always have a choice. And I'm here. This is Sydney. This is where I am at the moment. Pretty much I'm trying to transform my sister's room into my little temporary office. But I move a lot. If you've spent any time with me and know who I am, I move a lot, and I move between countries. And I've learned a lot about myself in that time, and I've also learned a lot about how life works. I'm still in the process. I'm no master or guru about this, but I'm definitely noticing things. I'm definitely observing things about life and how life works. And that, if you asked me how I can be so calm and at ease and present sometimes, it's because I have learned some things and experienced some things in life that I wasn't originally conditioned to have perceive or be exposed to. So I heard it once said in another podcast that it was like the joke of life when you finally get this stuff about thinking and consciousness and how life works. You just kind of laugh at your life because you try so hard to achieve certain things. And true peace, true freedom is an entirely different form than you at first thought it was going to be. So back to this thing about choice. I'm leaving Australia in about 9 days, and I've been here for almost 3 months. And it was a sidestep for me because I really didn't know what direction I was going to be heading in after Bali, so I just came back here because it's kind of a safe space, or a space to pause until I figure out what I'm going to do next. Or not figure out, but just take a next step, right? And I'm watching myself do this, come back to this place year after year, taking sidestep after sidestep, going forward, going to the side, going forward, and never going backward, always forward. But I'm watching myself do it differently and better every time, with more ease and more calm and, dare I say, more wisdom. And this time, I was, sitting just having lunch today, and I was walking up to my room and thinking, I used to think that I had to always be making a choice because that was the given scenario. Okay, I've got a choice. It's raining outside today, it's thunderstorming, pouring rain, and I used to say to myself, okay, Jules, you've got a choice. You can either say that you are someone that gets affected by the weather and decide that you've got SAD, S-A-D, and just be depressed all day. Or you can decide, you know what? I want to create today, and I'm not going to let a thunderstorm get in my way. I'm going to go create. And then just throughout the day, there's constant choice making, if we're not really conscious about it, but there's constant conscious choice making too, where it's like, okay, I can decide whether I want that tea or coffee, even though I've been wanting to get off coffee. Okay, I can decide whether I'm going to do my workout today, because I said I'm going to commit to the workout every single day. Okay, I can decide to let my sisters in or not on my journey, even though they don't really get who I am, or I'll never see eye to eye with them. I can decide whether to let that get in the way of who I am and what I want to do that energizes me. I can decide. I can always decide. There's like decisions. And then there's this part where I just don't give a fuck about a choice. I'm just like, hey, here's the life I'm living. Because beyond the choice, there's this thing called being human. There's this thing of, I don't actually need to make a choice about anything. There's just this period of life called a pause, if you want, where you don't actually know what you're doing and where you're heading and what you want to do and what your purpose is. And no one taught me that was okay. No one told me that is a normal part of the process of being alive. That half the time you're not gonna know what the heck you're doing. You're not gonna be okay with where you are, because success seems, from what we read and hear and converse about with colleagues at work and or online and in communities, is taking action. And what I really want to share in that podcast, or just in this video if you don't listen to the podcast, is that success isn't always found in action. For me particularly, personally anyway, I've found a lot of my success, i.e. wealth in terms of health, mindset, relationships, love, peace, joy. That's wealth for me. I found a lot of that in just being still. I found a lot of it when I was just walking in the streets in Bali. The whole day, I would just walk up and down the roads, walk past markets, walk past food outlets, just watch Bali go by. I felt wealthy because of that time. I get to do this, like I get to be taking steps in another country I wasn't born in. That's pretty cool. I find success in sitting in the window seat of an airplane, watching the sunrise, a view that not many people get. Even the people who do fly, not many of them are always on a sunrise flight, and I'm seeing the sun come up above a skyline. That's something spectacular if you've never seen it. I love it. I found success in going for runs where I'm hearing the world go by. I can hear the birds, I can hear the traffic. Even yesterday I was like, this is so quiet at home, I'm gonna go for a walk, and I actually went toward the traffic because I wanted to hear and be in energy of traffic. I know this can sound woo-woo if you've gotten to this part of listening to me, but I just want to share that success isn't always in choices. Sometimes it's actually staying still and knowing that there is something above the choice, there's something instead of a choice, and that's just being still, being human, being here. Yeah. This might actually be better than listening to the podcast, but you can subscribe anyway. There's a few other episodes I recorded. So, yeah, I hope that was interesting for you. I hope that brought some sense of calm in your day to watch this video. Just to end the video, I'll show you my little plant. So when I came to Sydney, Mum has this plant in the bathroom it's my favorite plant. Pothos, I think that's what it's called. Lots of different types of pothos, but Mum would just keep trimming it, and I found this vase and I put a couple of them in. And I got my first pothos when I was in Canada, and it's just quickly become my favorite plant because it requires very, very little maintenance. And I drew a little picture of, really poor picture of the Eiffel Tower in France. It just says where I am with my conversational French in what I wrote here, intimate A1, and then conversational A2. So it's kind of where I think I am in terms of like grammar in French. I'm still studying at the A1 level, and then conversationally I feel like I'm at A2 level, conversational level. So look out, France, I'm coming for you the next year or two. Have a wonderful day, have a wonderful evening wherever you are in the world. You don't always have to make a choice. It will serve you a certain time and place in your life, and if you get aware enough and present enough with who you are, you will find a blissfulness in not having to make a choice. Lots of love.